are going to edit with Adobe Photoshop. So it's going to prepare the file for editing. And when you're dealing with larger files, it could take maybe a minute or so, it seems like. It doesn't open it within Photoshop instantaneous, but that was pretty quick. It didn't take very long. That was maybe like 15 seconds. With an M9 file, it takes a little longer because they're so much bigger. Okay, now I'm in Photoshop, and what I'm going to do is resize this to make it easier to work on for the sake of this demo. Now I am going to show you how to fix the distortion in the image from within Photoshop. I'm going to go to Filter. I'm now in Photoshop CS4, works the same in CS3. Distort, Lens Correction. It's going to open up the Lens Correction filter. And I'm going to go over here on the right side to Vertical Perspective. And you can see by moving the slider, it makes your building square again. Except now it's crooked at the top. So we're going to go to the horizontal perspective, and we're going to try and straighten that out the best we can. I need a little bit more vertical. I'm using the guides on the screen. We're almost there, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to hit OK. And now the building's square, but we got some funky stuff going on here where Photoshop had to use parts of the image. We're going to crop it. And I'm going to take the sharpen tool, because when you do that, it softens your image. You lose some of the detail. That's one of the advantages of shooting with tilt-shift lenses with DSLRs for buildings and architecture. Now what I have here now, we have a square building pretty much. I did kind of a quick job on it. What I'm going to do now actually is, because this over here is bugging me, we have this fence on this side, and there's no fence on this side, and you see these houses. So what I'm going to do here is a very quick fix. I'm going to cut out the fence on the right side. I'm going to do this very quick because I'm low on time for these videos. Alright. Plus I don't want you to get bored. I selected the fence. Edit. Copy. I'm going to deselect that fence. Edit. Paste. I'm going to move this fence over here. And again, you can do this much better if you take your time with it. But I'm just doing a rough draft. Now I'm going to crop again to get rid of those edges, because I did a sloppy job for this demo. There we go. Now I have a fence on each side, and it kind of looks more like an industrial factory with an old abandoned building in it. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to flatten the layer. I'm going to go to Filter, Nik Software, Color Effects Pro. To make it a little more dramatic, I'm going to pick the Darken, Lighten, Center filter. I like to place the center in the middle because that's the center. And you can change your center luminosity. You can add light. It's almost like playing with fake light. Border luminosity. If you want to make the borders dark, you can do that, but we don't want to go too dark because then it looks too fake. I mean, it already looks kind of fake, but that's the whole point. This would make, if I did this in super high resolution and took my time, this would make a really cool fine art print, actually. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. That kind of, I'm not sure if I like it too much. So I'm going to lower the opacity of that layer. All right. We're going to flatten it. I'm going to give it a little border by going to Canvas Image, Canvas Size. There we go. Now I'm going to resize it to 700 pixels wide just for the website. Sharpen it up a little bit. Take my text tool on the left side in Photoshop. This was a fun demo. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Flatten that. And you'll see this image on the website in with the video lesson. So there you go. I went over Aperture's basic features all within a few minutes. I fixed an image and went from, here we go. Let me do this right here. We went from that, from within Aperture, to that. Pretty cool, huh? And the changes we got just from Aperture alone were right there. So it's pretty dramatic what you can do within Aperture 3. Very simple, very easy, very quick. You can go from my overexposed master to fixing the colors, making it more dramatic, making it pop. This would be good for a print. But the distortion is there, so I went into Photoshop and I fixed the distortion very quickly, very easily. So I hope you enjoyed this demo. Be sure to visit the website often.